through meadows of youth and goodness. Monday morning spent at the dentist appointment my mom made. The fluorescence pierced my eyes, the backs of my lids creating a little galaxy of technicolor floss beams. The taste of latex and grapefruit flavored fluoride left a bitter taste on my tongue all day. Tuesday came and rolled over suburban lawns, soaking in the neighborhood pool at dawn. There's chlorine in my lungs and my soul is aching with sunburn. The hypnotic half-summer nostalgia breaks open my gold-rimmed ribcage and I feel everything. Wednesday night was a flash from someone's digital camera, dancing my fears and tears away, young tongues licking young lungs, hoping to taste the milky moon of midnight, savoring every last drop before it spoiled. A blink and it was Thursday morning, waking up to afternoon sun kissing my eyelids, driving home in my best friend's pajamas in yesterday's makeup. My tears tasted grapefruits, sometimes bitter but oh so delicious. Friday came too soon and that bedroom of youth seemed ransacked and impersonal. If you look close enough though, you'll find that strawberry soda stain on the carpet or the tick marks in the closet that display my life in mere inches. Saturday morning came in waves of nostalgia, cardboard boxes full of those golden memories. The sun whispered to me a secret of the universe. Breathe life into the rebirth of yourself. Thank you.
Settled. Sweep up the homes unloaded, the claims of freedom and cars departed. The indifferent listen to the call of goodbye. Sweep up until they're dust. A cloud of confused past and half-lives, carted away to dorm quarters where they swirl and settle in corners. A single sliver a lid, between a headboard and rotted wall, and yet it settles there. I make a bed where I cannot lie. I pull twin sheets to mattress ends and try and tug at a duvet that does not mask the stiff stench of solitude. It will not fit until I settle in. Walls look brisk and incomplete with blank stretches of silent surrender, and a sticky imprint of a frame long forgotten, a frame that is not mine. This is not mine. This cell I'm expected to scrapbook, to carve out and cut up a childhood lived until all that persists are the best bits, pieces plastered on stained room walls at decay that eats away at me until I'm just an outline, indented into feudal space. But it's the cycle of coming. So what can I do besides christen this home through gritted palms and teeth and settle in? Thank you.
This is Voyage. That wilted cardboard box lies flattened beneath my lofted mattress, its contents strategically scattered across my new home. I do my best to drift into voids of pitch black seas and uncertainty, cicadas chirp and bullfrogs croak to remind me that, even in the unforgiving dark, this place is different. Maybe it's too new, the light's too white, or maybe it's too old, creaky floors yelping. Is that boy really just bad with names, or am I as forgettable as a fly on the wall? All that I can be sure of is the absolute indifference of these sterile hallways. Indifference to the cries of nostalgia, indifference to budding friendships, and so I lie here, in my rocky vessel sailing this dark sea which may wash me away, but only as well as wine stains on my soul. The voyage is rough, waters cut by excitement and dread, the ship's bow aimed in directions anew. My permanence is permanent, unlike the cubic figure of that moving box under my bed. Aged bird ship disguised as a bed frame. Thank you.
Life. Love is the best poison. Love is the worst blessing. Love is a storyteller where no voice is more important than the first to caress or the last to cry. Love is found amid the ocean that submerges, drowning brittle collarbones but throws a wave to stay afloat. Love is a muffled smoke alarm. Love is an explicit Janet song where collarbones collide gently and stroke abruptly. Love is skinning the face raw until wrinkles are no longer visible. Love is a Polaroid, making time for delay, but honoring even the finest lines and crater-like pores and the deep smile of pride that is soon to be reflected from the mottled tones of the film. Love is running a mile in quicksand without the need to take a breath. Love is a highway of dead-end traffic. Love is steadfast. It does not envy. Love is optimism, a giver to a fault. Love is when wine rings stain inebriated wood timelessly, while staring at the walls, waiting for them to speak back. Love is a curse. Love is a prayer that says, God bless America and the blessed who live in it. Love is being held into a state of emergency. Love is sacrifice. Love is to understand that love itself is life, love in full effect.
Elegy for a childless woman. Are you cruel as Sylvia swears? Is your ironclad judgment an act of war or love? In the shaft of your radiance, I hear your subtle coercions, guiding me to constellations of women leaving free of the cords that bind them. The cicadas you conduct ascend with astonishing assonance to the asperity of the fables I write for you. The tail side of the coin you dangle above my bed to catch my eye, the opposite of your perpetual glowing girlhood. Did Thoreau thank his mother for her sandwiches amidst all his transcendentalism? Shall I learn from Medea, making the impossible choice to escape the curse I crave? I want nothing more than to adore, to craft a sculpture for this cold, empty museum, that how I fear being called curator. And when curators and raiders crumble my marble walls, can a waif like myself protect my masterpieces from pillage? When my grandmother birthed a daughter with a face like your own marvelous veracity, her own mother hens warned her to keep the lass out of reach of the archer's tangible ferocity. But my aunt befriended the light and grew up among the poppies, secure in the rebellion she was gifted by her mother. Tell me, am I brave as she? To waltz through hell with eyes cast up? Celine, are you a mother to me? Do I dare drink from Lilith's cup? Mama mine, I only wish my fate foretold. Can a mother's love save her child from the world?
All right, I'm Jackson, and this is an In the Morning Mirror. And in the morning mirror, I thank my Father for our brows and wonder at my new day's stubble, now firm in tufted ground. I think to thank the shower steam, which whining kills the gleam. I think of that first fuzz, pink and pearly, course in the morning bright, that orange air briefly summering before long night. I have watched the flowers wilt, the neighbors wave auf Wiedersehen. I have seen the sagging eaves along the lane, smelled the ammonia rain, seen its yellow puddles soil the old dogs and inns. Mother's lost cotillion dress. I tell her I am happy for my youth, as if we both do not know the bitter truth, where lay all the bitter way-ins of our days. Better unkeep yourself, sleep and rest leave, well let lay, the long way-ins of all our days. Tarry, no, haste about the china idols, shattered lay, be not a waste. It is not enough. See the shattered glass upon a reddening stain, deepening to deeper reds as if of summer sunsets ever yet unbled. And in the morning mirror, I regard my visage frail, in this querulous glass ill fit to hang. I am led to icons of the old rays. The cardinal's flamed head spiked upon a simpering flame. Ah, the bitter way-ins, the drags at kettles deep. I think that endurance soul is imperial only to these great storied lulls, jazzing on, Hudson platitudes, the sensual keeps of bells tolling along its ruddy face. And in the morning mirror, I regard my visage frail. I offer tea to better morning's minstrels. I watch my stoop of smile, how I cinder to an old goat's impressed. I pluck the hairs in growing at my arms, as if they were of oldest Skeen's yarn, mildewing, a mucker's waltz, away from dream, a blackest of fright, that this is how empire ends. This is how empire ends, curdling long, a life unlived. Thank you.
I'm Jules Doobie, and this is Of Fences and Fur. Another day, another post, and my fence is long from complete. They rot in their place, but as the sun tucks itself in behind them, but not before its sheets unveil a girl, her chocolate lab, and the stars from which they came. Their faith sears its mark on my skin, and I know it is not the last mark to be made. The sun breathes tiredly, and the lab wheezes fearfully, and both breathe into me. It infests my lungs and then my heart as I lead them, snaking between the white posts to a sterile room and a colder, unfamiliar mat. I wish I could see the lab and her owner smile. Perhaps a silliness in her smile, but that too is covered. All I can see are her brimming brown eyes, a matching shade of the lab's coarse fur. A window to their once burgeoning soul link now pulled taut, a finish line between the blinding blades of my scissors. Why must it be by my hand that ends it? The girl has a request, one I can't deny. She lowers her mask, her head, her eyes, and presses a kiss goodbye to her forehead. She backs away and I plunge, needle into vein, my heart further into guilt. I was a moth drawn to a star when I chose this life, choosing to take others, knowing it could burn but not condemn me to it. The second the lab's eyes droop shut, the girl wilts, a soul gone, leaving its mate lost. Another white post hammered into freshly dug soil, another guiding star dabbed onto swirling black paint. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Maya Carlier, and this is my poem, Blue Bark. Upon that yellow, a shore safe from tidal waves, you lay, my dear, calm amidst sapphire variations and thrashing oceans in your irises. Coarse brown fur tingles my palms and awakes them, stardust woven through by threadwork angels. You must have been from vast, bright and cosmic ropes, connected and blinking into every part of me. You lick my hand before bed and sigh. Our conversations have grown more frequent, as I now know it troubles you to walk, and to eat, and to play, and to lift your midnight eyes for long. So to speak is to hear you, although a part of me winces every time I must massage the medicine deep, deep into your ears, gasping through days. We've got you here now, on unfamiliar shores, with stars not our own, and euthanasia on the table side. I press every part of shaking lips into your coarse brown fur, breathing, drinking your vivacity, tingling with cosmic color, and hold you dearly as those solar ropes unwind and limp, tangled for your years. Returning, evening brilliance washes the dining room, hollowed by an empty bed.
Your yellowed shore to rest upon must too rest. I stop holding my breath at midnight and feel ropes come from my throat and form those ties, those shapes I've traced so often. I hear sapphires gleaming in my deepest arteries, barking, still there in blue. You have transformed into the essence of stars, wholly, purely unto thyself. You are breathing as coursing Andromeda. If you look up in constellation's grace, I will kiss you goodnight, as we have always been of stars. Thank you.
Honey lavender tea. Today's the day I wrap myself in my best fabrics, in the hopes that she might hold me. I catch her honey-sweet scent on her side of the bed, her lingering soul so strong it imprinted on these faithful sheets. I feel my heart soar like those birds she loves so dearly. At the thought of her smile when she sees the fruits of our Eden and the honey lavender tea. I pull that favorite tome off the shelf. Our love is poetry dog-eared and annotated with a fountain pen. It goes on the tray next to the lavender we planted the day we made a home. The scent clings to the red thread that connects our young souls. My dear, you are as beautiful as the day we first met. I catch a glimpse of you in the sunroom, wrapped in my loving ocean. I gifted you with weathered hands. My love, I call out, let's read and drink to a life well lived. Dear, the tea will get cold. I see you, haloed by your silver crown. You don't stir, you never. The honey lavender tea has stolen your warmth. Rest your weary bones, love. Tell our little ones we love them. Thank you.
My name's Ada, and my poem is called Last Waltz, and it is very important that you remember little details from Alexa's poem, just read. This day dawns with the songbirds' hum, and a rose gold glow covers the world. I am the violets painted and stitched on my favorite gown, a picture of powerful humility. To my left, my love is gone, but I know that he'll return. So joyfully I descend down cascading stairs, where my eyes catch the frame of a picture I call timeless. Husband and wife's first dance, and when it comes to my life, Cupid and his mother knew he wouldn't miss. My brittle body brings me to my treasured old kitchen, and the first thing I see is a painting of lavender, my dear favorite honey lavender tea. My love will bring it to me, but the ballerina beside it is who I long to be. One last time I become her, and round my kitchen I waltz as the ballerina is me. I waltz to my last room, the one with the warm golden hue, and I lay on the cloud of my beloved couch. In this moment, in fact, I'm more in tune with God than sitting in my church's pews. I feel a light breeze, so I grab my best quilt, the one of shirts from my love, and I pray he'll feel no guilt. So like a warm hug from him, it holds me together. This love reached the depths, and it grounds me in peace as I embrace our lost children and take my last breaths.
Goodbye. Forever gone. I will be forever gone when the clock strikes 9. O great, O divine, what be would still be mine? Is this the sign? My hair is silver like the coins of the arcade I used to play with my brothers, my sisters, my mothers. My legs are bruised from the wars I once fought, guns and bombs and flames so long. My eyes are blurry like her sight of our future. She lost hope. My face is wrinkling like the pages of the book I once read under the sun, under the tree that brought me shade and brought me life. Life. It's being taken from me. Slowly but surely, I will be forever gone. Don't take me. Don't I still have more games to play? Don't I still have more wars to fight? Don't I still have a future to see? And don't I still have more books to read? But I don't. The years have passed by, for my hair is silver, it falls out. For my legs are bruised, I can't walk. For my eyes are blurry, I can't see. And for my face is wrinkled, let it be. I have cried all my tears, this is a sign. The poem is not mine anymore. So I'll go. The clock struck 9. I will close my eyes, I will hold your hand. I will be at peace, and I will sleep. It's time to go. Life, I let it take me. I am forever gone, but you are not. Goodbye, goodbye, I will miss you. Goodbye, goodbye, I will love you. The poem may not be mine anymore, but it is yours, and may it be the greatest poem that is ever written. We just wanted to say thank you to our instructor Chuck for being one of the best instructors over the past 4 weeks. He really is the embodiment of governor's school, as people call him. And we have been so excited and so lucky to have him for the past 4 weeks. Thank you.
On our first day in memoir, we realized that each and every one of us are wildly different people. We would argue over every daily prompt and seem to all mutually agree to disagree. But a few days in, Emmanuel guided us through making a list of common human experiences. After a loud class period full of laughs, we were left with 150 experiences we could all relate to. We realized that we were bound by this list, and more generally, bound by the highs and lows of life we've all experienced. With this in mind, we, the memoir class of 2024, created our cornerstone. We are proud to present the Book of Memories.
I wanted to be a princess when I was little. I would wear pink dresses, plan tea parties, and live in a palace made of cotton candy. Of course there'd be unicorns there too. I would wear the Princess Ariel dress every day, and my mom would have to wash it when I was asleep. Now when someone asks me what I want to be, I say a doctor. I no longer dream of faraway kingdoms and princes. I traded my princess dresses for scrubs, my youth for practicality. What caused me to grow up? Was it school? Friends? What causes anyone to grow up and lose their imagination? Maybe it's when you turn 11 and there's no letter from Hogwarts. Or maybe it's when you're 12 and you're not whisked away to Camp Half-Blood. Our dreams escape us. It's age claiming your hopes, your wishes. Whatever happened to the little girl that wore a crown?
Ever since I was little, I've loved to read. I'll go through books like no other, desperate for that feeling when you find a great one. Most people, when asked me what my favorite book is, expect some intelligent answer, and sometimes I try to give that to them. But in reality, my favorite books are a series of picture books. But these aren't just regular picture books because I'm in them. Every year for Christmas, my mother puts together a book filled with pictures and memories from throughout the year. These books are filled with my life story stored in the cupboard under my TV in my living room. They hold my first day of school, winning states, getting my license, all of it. There's something special about being able to hold your memories in the age of the digital world. Getting ready for my senior year, going back through these books has taught me a lot. I've always loved to read because it takes you to a different world, but going back through these books reminds me just how great the one I live in is. It's a reminder of not just my past, but the reasoning for my future. My family, who not only gave me my life, but the story that goes along with it.
The autumn leaves and numerous pumpkin decorations were my camouflage. I waddled down the street resembling more of an orange blob than the magnificent pumpkin I envisioned. With my empty bucket in one hand and my sister's fingers interlaced with my other, we trekked to our first target, the White House across the church. I trailed slightly behind my sister, disoriented from the simultaneous ninja sword fights, ghoulish masks, and princess twirls, until we finally arrived at the infamous house. Plastic spiders weaved cotton cobwebs that stretched across the porch, and the moon cast a delicate glow over the well-trimmed lawn. My fear depicted itself through my clammy hands, and embarrassment tinted my cheeks as my sister turned to me. Instead of the expected harshness that usually encompasses my sister, I was met with the gentleness I commonly associate with my mother. Surrounded by terrifyingly carved jack-o'-lanterns and cackling witch animatronics, I began to recognize a transcendent bond that connects my sisters and me beyond our earthly environment. Thank you.
Upon the fluttering leaves and the early evenings gathered the remnants of a sudden warmth, filtering in through the once abundant forest. From the mere aroma of a familiar dulcet breeze, there offers a sacred memory of an unforgettable summer, marked by the routine trips to the farmer's market where the tomatoes were ripe, watermelon flushed with grandeur, and the marigolds vibrant in color. My 3 older sisters, careless from too much of their idle time, drove around those barren landscapes in search of our next adventure, no matter the cost of time. With my head out of the moving car across those never-ending back roads, listening to the fragments of music cut by the gust of winds, waiting eagerly for the sun's kiss to ease the river's piercing cold. But with the crackle of fire, I draw back to the reality of a solemn winter away from those breathless escapes, before the move away, before the college farewells. There remains a certain beauty about the longing of summer and the stark nature of winter, coveted now by our shared youth. Thank you.
It was a massacre of pink decor and soft toys of the familiar cat my 6-year-old self had been so hyperfixated on. I opened the door to see that the blank canvas was in ruins, yet it delighted me in a way that no other destroyed canvas would have. The room that was once a white abyss had been transformed into a pink paradise. My parents, the perpetrators of this chaos, ushered me inside, and I was met with a captivating aroma of fresh paint. Whether it was the stickers encompassing the rose-stained walls or even the bed frame, Hello Kitty found a way to welcome me in every corner of the room. Taking in this gesture, I entered what seemed like a pink marble as the gleaming sunlight shone through the vibrant curtains. My mother snuck behind me with a sudden haste, tearing my eyes away from the compulsion of the radiance. Her hands pointed towards a set of black and pink Hello Kitty flip-flops positioned near the door to what was now my bathroom. Eventually, I would outgrow them, yet they still remained in my room as a symbol of my evolving identity. The memories of the once empty space would not fade away, but transform into something more meaningful as it continues to reflect who I am today.
When you are reliving a memory of something, you are always remembering the last time you remembered it. I don't know how many times I've recalled summer camp, but I know I enjoyed it. Hanging out with other camp kids, all waiting for snack time, was my favorite way to spend time away from school. My 7-year-old self playing in the dirt with bugs, rocks, and sticks each summer brought new friendships and cherished memories. My favorite of these memories is the time termites disrupted our cabin life and led us on an overnight excursion into the wilderness. We had a bunch of stuff the camp gave us, like tents, tarps, food, and cookware, but we weren't allowed to bring much of our belongings. We didn't have cards or paracord to make bracelets or mini board games. We had the outdoors. On our hike out there, we sang camp songs and stopped to look at the wildlife. When we got to the campsite and finished setting up our tents, we went exploring. There was a river nearby, and we played in that for a while. One of the other girls and I went farther than everybody else and found a bunch of fish. At the camp, there was a challenge where all camp groups would go on the lookout for the big four, the wild animals around the Brevard: bear, turkey, snake, and hawk. If those were spotted, the whole camp would receive an ice cream party. As luck would have it, during our wilderness exploration, our group encountered the last two creatures, bear and snake, needed to complete the big four. Our excitement echoed through the forest, knowing our discovery meant sweet treats awaited us all.
Happy birthday, said my mom, as she woke me up. That was the day I get to celebrate turning 6, the day I dreamt of since I was only 5. I threw on the orange dress I bought 6 months prior, slipped into my new princess heels, and flew down the stairs, each step echoing with joy. Happy birthday, said my dad, as he finished putting up the decorations we all made the night before. I jumped in excitement as we laid all the treats out on the table and ran to sit in front of the window, spying on people as they arrived. Happy birthday, said my best friend, as she threw open the door and embraced me with a hug, making me feel like the only girl in the world, as Rihanna would say. Happy birthday, my friends said, as they watched me unwrap my presents, longing for the day it'd be their turn, when everyone's gaze would be upon them. Happy birthday, they sang to me, as I struggled to blow out that one stubborn candle on the cake. But my flame burned brighter as I lit up the room around me. I smiled when I saw the eyes on me, and laughed as I smeared icing across my face. For that day was the day where I could eat all the candy I wanted. It was the day I got to be the coolest out of all my friends. And it was the day everyone knew was my day. Happy birthday, they said, as they started to exit, leaving the candles to await my breath next to me. The first day of school I can truly remember is my first day of 3rd grade at Kingswood Elementary School. I woke up super early so my mom could twist and twirl my hair until it looked the way I envisioned. I would wear the brand new outfit my parents bought me 2 weeks prior, and put on my purple book bag which held 4 notebooks for each subject, and then a special iridescent Elsa notebook I would use for my electives, or specials as we called them. I can't remember my teacher's name or even my classmates, but I remember that room, bright with all the colors of the rainbow, the little reading nook with the blue beanbag chair, the bright yellow cubbies, and the circular tables with the multicolored stools. I remember that my classroom was on the 2nd floor because I was finally an upperclassman who held the coveted status of being able to go up the stairs. I also remember it was a bittersweet moment because I had known these people for the last 2 years, and being only 8 years old, this was quite a chunk of my life, and I would have to leave them in 2 short weeks, for I would be moving away from the town of Cary to the far-off land of the Raleigh-Morrisville area. Lastly, I remember crying on my last day of school. It was only about 12 days after my first day. I was a big girl now, so I did it secretly, hiding behind that little reading nook. How odd it is to remember all these moments, and the sadness I felt when I cannot even recall my teacher's name, but I will always remember that first day.
Don't worry, the dog is still alive. My family bought him in October 2015, the day before Halloween. He was only 3 months old, the last of his litter alongside his brother to be bought at the shelter. His brother was far more extroverted than him, jumping around, going behind our backs and chewing on our shoelaces, but he was calm. He didn't make too much of a fuss and quietly observed his surroundings, much similar to my family's inner workings. We're a quiet group and he fed us. I remember holding him in the car as we decided on his name, Simon, and bringing him straight to PetSmart. His little Labrador ears were bigger than his head, and to be honest, he still hasn't outgrown them. We went straight to the back where our neighbor worked. He was on the phone, looked up, and immediately hung up. And I mean, you can judge this for yourself, but HR phone call, puppy. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It takes so little to make someone happy, and in this case, it only really took a dog. Dogs understand us more than we understand ourselves, even when they bark too loud or beg too much. Because at the end of the day, dogs bring you more happiness and love than most of our species will. For 9 years, Simon has been with my family, following us, playing with us, and only giving us a little bit of trouble. He may have been a pain for a year or two, but he has grown into a great companion and family dog. He turns 9 years old on August 1st. He's getting old and has 2 bad knees, but only on account of his own stupidity, chasing squirrels and cats he'll never catch. We all know, Nonetheless, he's good company, and I've missed him a lot at GSE. He's a good dog.
My childhood was a series of gallery walks. After tagging along with my mom on trips to Charlotte's best museums, the first thing I ever wanted to be when I grew up was an artist. My mom wholeheartedly supported my dream, signing me up for art classes and braving millennial lined streets every Saturday just so I could play Picasso. And how did I repay my mother's devotion but by mutilating her childhood doll? People say artists are tortured souls, but I think I was just a self-centered jerk. My responsible mother held onto this doll for decades just to give it to her 2 daughters. And here I come along, big in my elementary school britches, with the vision to give the doll a trim. My mom had preserved an aspect of her girlhood to pass down to the one I was experiencing, but my creativity destroyed it. My mother was aghast when my sister tattled to her the bad news. Wheat-colored hair on the hardwood like a dilapidated forest. As punishment, I stopped going to art school. It was in that moment that I truly realized how my actions affect others, that my creativity can be ruinous if I act impulsively. I do not wish that my mom had let me continue studying art. I do not wish that I had prevented my sister from telling on me. I only wish that I could restore this generational doll and undo the pain I caused. It's safe to say an important lesson was officially learned.
A metallic box in a movie theater lobby. A flashing light, countdown to poses, and giggling teenagers stumbling out. You'll find me rushing to any photo booth I see now, years familiar with the routine of positioning myself between friends, never failing to look more awkwardly strained than they do in all their photogenic glory. Media depictions of girlhood inform my younger self. The photo strips I see emerging from the metal box before I watch a Disney movie will be integral facets to the scrapbooking and collages every girl, including myself, will devote herself to. I began obsessively scouring for every photo booth at every location, preparing for that moment of female inspiration to strike, forming a resentment towards the waiting game of its arrival, as was it really worth this time spent in cramped spaces, coming up with spontaneous poses with friends, none of whom understood the dire consequences of a lack of the meticulous childhood documentations I saw on screen. The waiting game never ended, and as the photo compilation process ensued, I grew past the desire for sentimental scrapbooking and have grown instead to appreciate the expansive library of photo booth film I have collected in my years-long quest, looking past my extraordinary awkwardness and cherishing the unintentional friendships that grow, develop, and never leave me after being cramped in that photo booth together, even if they aren't in a scrapbook or pasted on the wall.
It was like a new dimension, a portal through heaven. But the portal was Eminem's Till I Collapse. When I first heard hip-hop, I felt music. I felt the beat surge through my veins. Nate Dogg's refrain resounded in my brain, hitting the walls and echoing in the chamber of my synapses. And then the rhymes. There's something so inherently beautiful and divine about rhymes over music. I was hooked. I became something of a music junkie, not in the sense that I depend on music, but I'm literally a music nerd. Music became my lifeblood and an artistic wavelength I could ride to infinity. I can see music now. Whether I'm outside or walking inside and studying, the sound of my footsteps echoing nature's freestyle over the sidewalk beat. The tapping of the pencil or the clacking of the keyboard ready to drop a verse like Black Thought or Kendrick. It's straight fire. I tapped into the universe when I first heard music. That innermost soul that sings its truth in all living beings. Every beat of my heart is an 808 kick in the intricate tapestry of the universe.
I was very vocal about my hateful opinion of them when talking to my sibling. They told me that I could always wear a suit, and at the time I was completely dumbfounded at the fact that I didn't have to wear some thin, flowy piece of fabric. There was nothing stopping me, no law that forbade me, the only prohibiting factor being that I had no suit or any money to get one. I was going to wait until I got a job, but my sibling had other ideas. They talked to my mom, telling her how thrilled I would be to have a suit. For what might have been months, the two conspired until on Christmas Day when I was 15. It was the last present given to me after the ones that Santa got us. I had opened the box to see pants, a vest, and a jacket. I didn't realize what the gift was until my mom held the entire outfit up. I immediately ran to the bathroom and changed into the suit. I can't remember if I was crying tears of joy or bouncing giddily, but I do remember that it was the best Christmas gift ever and that I no longer dread formal events.
When it is decided that you shall exist, a great force separates parts of you and spreads them around the world. Where they land, a special connection forms. Some fall upon autumn leaves, some upon old, beaten cars, and some among people whom you are fated to cross. I have had the luxury of exploring the world and finding my scattered pieces, but I was even more lucky to have one of those pieces find me first. My sister, just 3 years old, was one of the first people to hold me. As we grew together, as two trees intertwined in a forest. We bonded over every little thing, and she held me through every pain of life. Having my sister by my side was something I took too much for granted, and I realized this when we received a letter marked UNC Chapel Hill Admissions Office. On the day my sister was accepted to college, I realized that she would not always be next to me. I realized that we would have to be apart. I told her that I was so proud, that I expected this for her whole life. But she saw me, and saw my sorrow through my smile. My sister held me in that moment, and allowed me to truly feel like a baby once again. I've always loved my sister, and I always will, no matter where she is.
Miles ahead, miles behind, miles from any destination of which we could possibly intend to go. And yet, life set upon these unnamed stretches of road still continues on with brilliance and intensity that can rival any center of travel, any bold letter name on a map. I love road trips. I love watching as neighborhoods give way to cornfields, and cornfields give way to old pine forests. I love jumping from town to town, watching as entire worlds come and go. Cultures are shared in moments. And most of all, I love watching the ever-changing horizon as it frames the picturesque moments yet to come. With my best friend in tow, an ample snack supply, and a heart-stopping 2 cases of Red Bull, we were ready to take on anything life could throw at us. With every moment, we grew further away from the responsibilities, the limitations of home. We were driving towards freedom.
My first job was an internship offered by my county school system. Last summer, I gained the opportunity to learn about the world of IT for $15 an hour, a mere taste of my dreams. During the 3-4-day weeks of the internship, we would occasionally visit places involved with IT. The worst of these trips was to a clothes factory, and what I observed can only be described as dystopian. We went to the second floor of the factory, and there was a walkway where you could see the first floor. The many workers were all at their almost identical stations, binding basic designs on shirts. If you looked at the wall, there was a huge screen that tracked every employee, their proficiency, and the amount of mistakes they had made. Witnessing such a dreary nightmare just gave me an idea of what I don't want.
Intertwined through the blood we share, the memories we hold, and the bruises formed at the hands of each other, my older sister encapsulates every aspect of life that I love. While love is intangible, it is reflected in every interaction my sister and I share. It is in the clanging of keys as I ask her to drive me somewhere, to the tears that fell from my eyes as she joined the United States military. Loving your sibling, especially your older one, is easy. However, the love I hold for my sister and the love we hold for our siblings transcends who they are as individuals. It lies in the fact that they are there, they have been there, and will likely continue to be there for the rest of your life. They're almost another version of who you are and what raised you, if not the embodiment of your family and all the good and bad aspects of it. My older sister is proof of the strength that lies in our blood and the embodiment of our family and all that I can be as siblings reflect back our past, present, and future. Thank you.
I've always found negative numbers to be most poetic of the mathematical concepts. While these numbers represent the absence of mathematical positivity, when you multiply these negative values upon each other, you get a new, larger, positive value. This is a concept that I've noticed is also often applied to many real-life scenarios, especially that of my friendships. When I first arrived at government school, I hated almost everything. Constantly overwhelmed with a plethora of choices, I often sat in solitude with my negativity and endlessly growing out of fear of judgment or being considered closed-minded. But then I met my evil twin, Morgan. As the devil on my left shoulder, our conversation consisted of everything and everyone at camp that made our blood boil. In our endless storm of negative energy, we found ourselves appreciating the little moments here more and more. Morgan and I, our vast negativity intertwined, producing an almost cosmic positivity within my life.
Tears were shed, smiles were gleamed, and laughs were shared. This was an unfamiliar feeling, one of independence, and one that only happens at a specific moment in our life. There's something intriguing about prom. The preparation behind finding the perfect attire, the family gathered to watch you take pictures, and the disagreements about where to eat afterwards are core memories that make prom, well, prom. Having a photographer before the main event adds a special essence to the experience. The flash of cameras and people crowded around makes one feel like a celebrity posing for the paparazzi. The aura of the scenery and the enchanting background was one from a fairy tale. When we arrived at prom, the night was young, but it was easy to feel younger. Seeing my peers that are normally in sweatpants and hoodies arrive in beautiful gowns and dashing suits is an image that belongs in a movie. Sweat glistened on our faces as we danced our hearts out to iconic 2000s music and devoured snacks in the corner. Even when dancing got old, we couldn't help but hold on to our youth. When looking back on the videos and photos from that night, I was reminded to cherish those moments and add it to my book of memories. Whether we want to live and learn, forgive but never forget, delete these images from our phones or proudly hang them on our wall, photographs are a record of the past. They serve as passages to the recovery of our buried experiences crying to resurface. Although some things in life come and go, our memories ensure that they are never fully lost. Thank you.
Shout out to Anaya Glover, who was tech support. My name is Melanie Hernandez Martinez, and I was a prop maker.
My name is Raylan Carter, and I was tech support.
My name is Simone Dobson, and I was an actor.
My name is Adam Dano, and I was tech support.
My name is Sophie Smart, and I was an actor.
My name is Ava Chalmers, and I was an actor and writer.
My name is Abby Macharnik, and I was an actor and tech support.
My name is Cassie Raskowski. I was tech support and door 1.
My name is Samaya Jackson, and I was an actor and tech support.
My name is Ridley Harrison, and I was an actor.
My name is Kayla Britt, and I was an actor.
My name is Nathan Martin. I was an actor and a writer.
Hello, I'm Jasmine Olson, and I was a writer and actor.
Hi, my name is Tommy Crockett, and I was an actor.
Hi, I'm Leah McQueen. I was an actor,
give a shout out to Lana Gilmore, who was an actor.
Hello, I'm Carly. I am the editor and one of the directors/cinematographers for our short film, The Wonders of Fiction. We wanted to make our cornerstone about how fiction in various genres can allow readers to escape reality through storytelling and explore new aspects of imagination and creativity.
Hi everybody, my name is Emma Del Savio and I am one of the amazing directors and cinematographers for this film. We wanted to go throughout genres that recur throughout fiction as a whole, including fantasy, romance, a western, horror, and mystery.
Good afternoon, Governor, School, East. How y'all doing tonight? I'm the last of the directors/cinematographers and door number 2. You see, we dressed alike today, so y'all knew who the real MVPs of this film were. And it is my job to give you a little synopsis of what you're about to watch. So this story follows our protagonist, who, like many of us, has an adoration for literature. Through books, she traverses many worlds and pursues through her imagination in the film. And I also want to give a shout out to the Meredith College Lunch ladies. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for letting us film in the dining hall after hours and for making this film possible. Be sure to thank y'all lunch ladies tonight at dinner because they really do deserve it. Okay. And without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy The Wonders of Fiction!
Moment for the grace of an age. They can be mere moments or centuries, imagined or real, touching or repulsive. In an empty, dusty library, we find our unwittingly chosen guide. Where will she lead us? Where does this story truly begin?
The world of the fantastic, the magical, where science and logic are twisted to the whims of the author and reader alike.
Really? You make us so excited to play Quidditch. Oh, did you do your potions, Mama? Of course I did. I used chat. OWL. Bloody hell, you know that's cheating, don't you? Not if they don't find out. Did you at least practice your spell casting? Of course I did. Watch. Smilgardia, Smeliosa. It's Smeliosa, not Smeliosa. You're also smart. Why don't you do it? Fine. Smilgardia, Smeliosa. See? You're a nightmare, honestly. No wonder you haven't got any friends. Well, how about we play some wizard's chess? Okay, once I make my move, the queen will take it. I'll get the king and we'll win. What? No, you can't. I'm not spinning on the wheel. Oh, there is a pile of guitars. No! Oh, yes, I am Lord Schnoldemort, and you'll regret ever insulting me. Now stand and fight, Harry Potter. No, I can't. You have to, Harry. You have to. I know it. Not me. Not Hermione. No!
Certainly magical in some sense. Our gunslinger is governed by her own virtues, and like the land, is reliable.
What business do the lot see you got? Are you being funny or mate?
I'll tell you. But if you keep asking, you about to find out.
This town ain't big enough for both of us.
I reckon so. Which means it's you that's gonna end up full of holes.
I wouldn't count on Buster.
Gee, I ain't seen this turkey since my daddy ran this town.
coming back. No play business of neither.
I'm not the one you should be worried about, boss.
You better watch that mouth before it goes flat. Save it for the field, boys.
Ten steps on my shot. Let 'em loose.
Now that's what I call dead weight. Good riddance.
But what if there is no solution to make the evil dissipate?
You can stay here forever if you wanted to. Really? Sure, we'll sing and play games, and Mother will cook your favorite meals.
There's only one tiny little thing we need to do.
What's that? For you, our little doll. Black is traditional, but if you prefer pink, orange, or green, well, you might make me jealous.
No way! I'm not sewing buttons into my eyes.
Oh, but we need a yes if you want to stay here.
So Sharpie won't throw.
Ow! There now. It's your decision, darling. We only want what's best for you.
I'm going to bed right now.
Bed? For dinner?
I'm really tired. I think I should go to bed and sleep on things.
Of course, darling. I will tuck you in.
No thanks. You've done so much already.
You're welcome. And I know we are not worried at all. Soon you'll see views from our way.
Perhaps the thing we fear most is the unknown, the unsolved. I believe that is why we love a good mystery.
Sherlock, we haven't had a case in over a week.
The fact I'm clearly aware of what's in. I admit I've grown restless. I need something to occupy my mind.
But Sherlock, even a fellow like you must appreciate a break.
Nonsense. But man is such a simple, unextraordinary mind like you. One might appreciate such a thing called grace, but not I, Watson. Not I.
Fascinating. Ah, here approaches a fellow. Perhaps he'll have something for us.
You mean the retired sergeant of Marines?
How on earth would you look at?
Please, take a seat. Thank you, sir. From Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Yes, thank you.
May I ask, good sir, what might your trade be?
Missionaire, sir. Uniforms out for repairs. And you were? Sergeant, sir. Royal Marine Light Infantry. Sir.
How on earth did you deduce that?
Deduce what?
He was a retired sergeant of the Marines.
It's easier to note than to explain why I knew it. I mean, clearly I could see the great blue anchor tattooed onto the back of his hand. But he was no ordinary seaman. He was a man of great importance, with a certain air of command. You must have seen the way he carried his head and flared his coat. He was a good, respectable, middle-aged man on the face of him, all facts which led me to believe he had been a sergeant. Exceptional. Elementary, really? Watson, we must take this case at once. There's been a murder, and have some joyous day. Joyous day indeed. Let's get to work.
Even greater a mystery than murder is love. Of just this one emotion comes a string of infinite possibilities. Romance and passion go together like a newlywed couple, inseparable. Mr. Lawson.
Mr. Colley, I'm in one place to find you. Sit, please.
I have something to tell you.
You seem terribly agitated. What is the matter?
This past few months,
I've been holding a secret from you.
I don't understand.
It is a well-kept secret, one that has agonized me relentlessly.
Are you teasing me, Mr. Cardi? And here I thought you were above that sort of thing.
No, I assure you, please, I wouldn't do that sort of thing to you.
Then by all means, what is the secret?
I cannot say. But if these words were ever uttered, it would be to the disgrace of both of us. And I cannot do that to you. It's for my family's expectations of me, I cannot dispute. And for the nature of our birthright, I cannot tell you either.
Which is far too removed. You are an aristocrat, Mr. Cardi, and I am only a gentry. You know very well what sort of position we are in, and I have much better things to do than to listen to your noble conflicts. Now I hear no more of this.
But you must hear me, Miss Eliza. If you are not to hear me, then I will die in my anguish. Please, I cannot go on illustrating.
There you go again, changing your mind. I didn't take you for the fickle type, Mr. Cardi, but I suppose I was wrong. Now once you clear your head and become much more reasonable, then you can come and find me.
Miss Elizabeth.
Most ardently, by my duties, I have so deeply. I fear that until the day that I die, I shall lament the passing of this event. I must have you.
Mr. Cardi, you shouldn't.
In any case, our stories share one common trait. There must exist a human heart, a conscience that shouts, I will show, and I will tell. So the next time you pause and begin a story, should you happen to remember these words, of course, ask yourself this: where is it that your story truly begins? For we all have a story to tell.
I enjoyed my kids, of course, but both other groups were just incredible, and that was just a hoot. The last one, and you know, Mr. Cardi and Miss Eliza will forever find a place in the book and volume of my brain. So, once again, thank you. Have a great evening. Appreciate y'all.